Now, we will turn to the next part, guest talk with voices from partners, and let's hear our guests share insightful thoughts and amazing journeys. For the first sharing, we would love to listen to Mr. Mattia Kernini. Hello, Mr. Mattia Kernini.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you so much.
Perfectly. Thank you for inviting me in this. Let me go to share my screen. I hope you can see it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
perfect.
Okay, thank you so much. So I'm really happy to be here. I will um, like explain a little bit how we work in matter of trust and why it makes so much sense to join this. I'm at TM, the Global Hub Manager on Matter of Trust. Matter of Trust is a public charity that started 26 years ago. And just to give you a little brief of what we do, we recycle human hair and pet fur to do like three lines of different products. We do absorbent that are able to soak up hydrocarbons, PFAS, PFOS, coliforms, heavy metals in water, as the first photo you see. So we work with community to help them clean the rivers, lakes, etc. Then we have another line of work where we transform the human hair into these mats, into this padding mulch to reduce the evaporation. So it's the second one you see. You just cover the roots and that allows to reduce the evaporation by 71%. That means that we're able to reduce the use of water by 50%. And that it's a project where we work with little farmers all around the world to help them face drought. And on the other side, the last product and line we have, it's the fertilizer, where we are able to um, like take out the nutrients from the hair and transform it into this fertilizer that help the plants growing and help the soil enhance. So it's the three lines, just to give you a little brief introduction of what we do. But this is the important part. So we have this global community of 134 partners. I think right now every day it's growing, and we are a community that share everything we do, and that is really into the line of Cambria of what is the proposal of this journey. So we are an NGO where we have 134 partners, 52 countries, and everyone is independent and everyone is part of this community. And so just to give you a little explanation of how the model of Matter of Trust work, we're not a franchise. I mean, we are kind of, but the interesting part of this is that it's a living network. So we're part of this community, and we really encourage the same proposal as Cambria is promoting. That is, everyone is living part of this. Everyone take their own decision. Everyone make their own development, and we're just facilitating this to happen. So it's something very incredible of everything that is happening. So when we are talking about our development, we are a lot of people working into the same goals and try to make a change in the world. Um, so our idea is to have these points in the map that are local autonomous hub. Everyone is completely autonomous, but they have this network where they can collaborate, they can meet each other, they can like bring this community and this discover that they are doing and this work that they are putting into this community together to co-create. So that's something amazing that someone in Argentina today is working on a project, and then tomorrow is giving back to the community what they've been working on, and someone in South Korea is taking it and transforming with the local knowledge and the local problems of South Korea, and is making some more adjustment, and then it's going back to the community, giving it back, and someone else is taking from Belgium. So that's really amazing how we can collaborate through the frontiers and through the different way we have to understand problems. And another thing we really encourage, I mean, it's part of the values we share with our partners, is that we don't have patents. We don't believe in patents, actually. We think that the knowledge should be shared the most as possible. And, um, and that is possible. I mean, we are not an NGO that just think about as an NGO model. Most of our partners is businesses. And we understand that even like a business is able to be part of this model without patents, and they can earn money, they can hire people, and they can have their own like revenue. But in this model, we're no patent and we're sharing with the community. So this is like a change of the of mind as we're really promoting to matter of trust. And one of the main value that we promote is the decision making and taking in this community is not from the headquarters in the US. We're just a facilitator. We really encourage people in the local area to decide about their organization, their little dot in the map, and the global community. So we are we have different mechanisms where the people they really can decide where we are going. And it's amazing because like everyone in this community can really make a global change with all the network they have. So how we do it? So the first step is always to decide which are the rules we are playing. It's really important to define if we are playing. I don't know. If we're playing football, in this case I represent here, we have to decide how many people are playing, what is the field that we are using, how we can take the ball or not, if we can use hands or foot, etc. So this is the first part of the process. We propose some rules and the community decide if the rule applies or not to the place. We're always like um, willing to change the rules if everyone says tomorrow that I don't know the field is not like the football field and we're playing on another place, that's perfect. It's part of the process of learning and deciding what is the framework where we are based. And then what we do is we share the knowledge and is one of the main important stuff. And how we do this is some of the ways we have. We have manuals, for example, and the amazing part of the manual is that we have like a draft that was like putting together all the information. Actually, we have Matthias that was an intern in the community that was like interviewing different partners to bring it together to have the first draft. So the first draft was just taking all the information together, and then every one of the partners can accede in the manual and can change it. So that's this way to continuously improve. We have a lot of meetings. One are one-to-one if someone is interested in one particular topic. We have meetings like for Europe, one for Africa, one for Americas, etc. Then we're mixing it. So that's a lot of way to share the knowledge. And yeah, that's sharing. everything we do, we put on the website. We have a website that is made for this, just to share information between the partners and the open community. So this is like the most important stuff for us. When you share, you can grow together and you have access to all the information. So there's always challenges on this. Just like you have local innovation hubs, local people that are developing their own organization inside the network, and they are developing their own like solution for the problem, etc. And then you have like a global organization that have their own global goals. If we're in our case to have 300 hubs, to have some line of products, etc. And sometimes you have to understand how to adjust this one, then they can coexist. So, uh, how we propose, as always, we don't own the right here, we just propose some solution, and then it's the community that decide if it's the right way or not. But we do have some values that are sharing to the community. So, for example, we say the one of the patent. It's really important for people to share this because you're receiving a lot of knowledge. At the same time, we ask you to give it back to the community. So this is, I think, the main rule in our community. But apart of this, we can build different solution and ways. And so we propose like I found these 4 points the most important. So we are open between us, everything we share between us, but we're open with the community too. So uh, sometimes like the global cannot directly accede to the local community, but we have this second step. So um, let's say the operation in Chile that is matter of Chile have the direct access to the local community where they can be part of this. They can be part of the construction of new solutions. They can be part of construction of new processes. And then Matter of Chile kind of report what the local community in Chile have decided on a problem, on a solution, on a project. So we have these two ways. We have the way directly reaching the community, and we have the way that our partners are the one who reach the community. So all these communities that can be part of the decision process, they really enrich the process. It's uh, it's an amazing way to have like millions of people deciding where their hair is going, what is the priority in the locality. And yeah, so we co-create with the community itself. We ask really the community that is our community where we want to go. And we ask them to ask their community where we want to go. So eventually at the end, we have millions of people deciding where the little bit of hair is going to help. And we really encourage the collaboration between the partners. We think that it's an amazing way to grow together. And just to finish a little bit my intervention, let's say that we are a matter of trust, so trust is always a big value um, in this community. You have to trust your partners, and there's a way to scale with trust and not with control. So this is I think a new way and a way we share with Cambria that people can really decide together where to go, and we're just here to facilitate this journey. We don't know exactly what the goal will be, what the results will be, but we're really open to like build it together.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Your insights have been truly interesting and inspiring. Yeah, thanks a lot for your sharing, Mr. Kenini. Yeah, so now let's turn our attention to Miss Crate Ragmani. Hello, Miss Crate Ragmani.
Hi, everybody. Thanks,
Yeah,
Mathia.
yeah, hello.
Hey,
Hello.
Grace.
So, hey there. I'm going to give a bit of a presentation about, you might be wondering if you're thinking about joining this program, like, what's a DAO? Why might I need DAOs? If I do create a DAO, like, what things should I watch out for and what things can I look forward to? And so my short presentation will cover those topics. Okay, let me see if I can get this to share properly. Share, share. Okay. Share and let's see. Okay, hopefully you can see this now.
Yeah,
Yes, good.
perfect. Thank you.
So it's about success and pitfalls, and we have a quote here from Mahatma Gandhi: "Good government is no substitute for self-government." And that's really what DAOs are about. It's about how do we govern ourselves so that the group is making decisions about what it wants. I mean, that's what democracy was supposed to be, right? That people get to decide. So we're going to learn from success and failures of the past and understand what the DAO can and can't do. This is the intention. So here's something about, it looks a little messy, but what can DAOs do today? So they can make votes on different types of decisions. Here's a decision in the Arbitrum DAO. You can see there's a vote for things, there's a vote against things, there's abstain. So you can see, and if you look at this thing, it's called the AIP Remove Cross Cap on Arbitrum Nova. It sounds really boring, which is one of the problems. Like a lot of DAOs today are deciding on very technical topics that nobody cares about. So your DAO can make decisions. Now on this particular decision, this can be implemented in code. So when the DAO does it, when you decide yes, it actually happens. And we all know of incidents where people have voted on something. For example, the most famous one probably is Brexit, right? The English people voted for this Brexit thing, and it took 3 years for it to happen. And so the great thing about DAOs is when you implement something like this, you vote yes, the code automatically executes. But again, it's kind of a boring decision. Like, is this really what we care about? This other one here is about an emoji competition. This is using something called Joke Race, and it's like a competition. Which emoji should we use? Now that's fun. We get to vote on our emoji. We get to choose the emoji. It's not really an important decision in our self-governance, but it's fun. Okay, it's fun. And so we do nobody gets angry if the weird cat wins or this dude win. I don't know what these things are. Anyway, it's emoji competition. And then another thing, this is something like there's Wonderverse does this, and this other one is I can't remember what it's named, D-Work. And what they do is they make bounties. So the DAO allows anybody to come and work for them. So it might say, okay, here's the work that needs to be done in our DAO. How do we distribute it? So these are ways you can use DAOs today so that you can understand what does a DAO do, right? It can vote on technical things. You can have fun contests and you can distribute work among your people. And you can have one of the things with D-Work is really great, or Wonderverse, is you can see who's really doing the work over time, and you can give them the awards according to the work that they do. So it's very self-oriented, very fair distribution in some ways. I mean, maybe it's not fair. I mean, maybe crappy people who are just bored do the work rather than the best people. Maybe you have to pay the best people more. I don't know. But anyway, these are some of the technologies, not all of them, but some of the technologies that are already available today, that if you implement it now, you can have all kinds of votes, which could be yes, no votes, like I said in this one, or races or contest votes or distribution of bounties. So these are some of the tools that will be available to you today. And so if you join Cambria's program, these might be the types of things they'll teach you how to use. But okay, here's an Arbitrum vote. This is the list of some of the recent votes in the Arbitrum thing. And you can see the votes, like it'll be like, oh wow, 218 million votes and whatever. But that's tokens, right? Actually, if you look closely, there are only 3,485 participants, right? Oh my goodness, this one only had 428 people voting on it. And this is the graph of the unique addresses. So there's 60 million people using this. And in the DAO, you can see there's, I mean, again, this is a little bit small, but the voters are between 500 voters and 5,000 voters, when actually they know that there's 60 million addresses. And this is one of the problems with DAOs. You have all these people who hold tokens, but they're not really a part of it. So you have to ask yourself, like, what types of members do we want? Is a token holder really a member? Is that the right way to have voting? For this reason, some DAOs have governance tokens that are separate from the payment tokens. I mean, it's a very interesting situation, right? And so then what do you do? Like, all your token holders are not going to vote. How do you make it work? So, okay, great. What they do is a few things. They'll have a grants round. This is from DEP funding. It's a grant round. And that means that you call people who are qualified to come in and submit their proposals. And, oh, wait a second. Who decides how much money will be distributed? And who decides what the grant will be around? Oh, well, that's a centralized decision by the management. So there's like a DAO, a decentralized decision about what gets funded, but somebody already decided, oh, this is only the category that gets decided. So it's actually a hierarchical system masquerading as a DAO in this case. Now, in this case, the other problem that they had was people would put in, and you saw the voting percentages, right, in the previous slide. So people would put in proposals. I think the round that I participated in, there were more than 200 proposals. And they said, how can anybody decide? So they said, okay, we're going to pay experts. Oh, wow. Now your DAO has to be really rich. These guys were. So now we're going to pay people to review the proposals, and then we'll have expert reviews, and then people can vote after they see the expert reviews. So what happens? They paid experts, and then people voted. Now the voters were, who came to vote? Like, why would you vote for a proposal to give out free money? Well, only if you also are trying to receive free money, or this is your friend and they say, hey, can you come vote? And so what happened was there's only like, I don't remember whether it was 40 or 60, but it's like half of the recommendations of the experts were accepted and half not. In other words, the experts were irrelevant. People just brought their friends in to vote for them because nobody cares. You're giving away money. Like, if I'm a token holder and you've already decided we're going to give away whatever it is, $11,000 in the case of Cambria, like, that's how much it's going to affect your token price. And who gets the money? That's not going to affect your token price. And so most of the token holders don't care, don't vote, and it doesn't really look like democracy. So the next thing people are trying is delegates. That's the second thing. So that's what Arbitrum has. So you can stake your token with a delegate, and that delegate represents you for all of the votes. And as you saw before, it's a really boring vote on, I can't even remember, it was only 3 slides ago. Do you remember what that vote was for? It was for some change in the whatever saw, I don't know what it was. Like, so now you've staked your tokens for somebody to represent you about something that you don't really care about. And what's a delegate? A delegate is a professional politician. I went to a meeting with these guys, and you know how politicians talk like they don't commit to anything? They say blah, blah, blah. And a good friend of mine had written, it's not for Singularity Net, it was for Arbitrum in this case, had gone around during one of the Ethereum meetings and talked to the delegates. And I've got this idea and I want to do this proposal. And people said, oh, it sounds really great. They were really nice because they're politicians. And then he went and he put the proposal in and they voted against it. And he's like, why did you do that? And I was in the meeting and one of them said, I don't know what they said. They said, blah, 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 the way that politicians say when they don't keep their promises. He was like, oh, well, we had to consider and blah, blah, blah. It was amazing. And these men they were men who were node operators, like technical geeks, had become politicians. Like overnight, as soon as they were voted in, they started to talk like politicians. It was like there was a brain change from being a technical person to being a politician. It was fascinating. So that's another problem that DAOs have, is that when you have delegates, very rapidly, I did not know how fast this could happen, but very rapidly, people talk like politicians. Very, very funny. Anyway, so that's some of the problems. Another problem that you might have is unpaid work. So if I have to spend a lot of time, like my friend did, go to a conference, talk to the delegates, get people to vote for me, get people to like me, that work is unpaid. You only get paid after your proposal's approved. And this is something that most DAOs have not made uh, any kind of progress in. And the other one is just gig work in general. Already, when you're doing gig work, if you take a bounty, you have to do some work, whatever, but you have no pension, you have no nothing. And we had a situation in the DAO that I was elected on a council, and there were three of us, and one of the three of us on the council experienced health problems during that time. And we had to decide, do we keep paying him during this time? And we talked to him, and he had no other health insurance because he was a DAO guy. And we decided that we were going to continue his salary during the time that he was ill. But most DAOs would never do such a thing. There's no health insurance, there's no pension funds, there's no pregnancy leave. And so DAOs suffer from these problems that all of the gig working economy is suffering from. There's a lot of potential, as you can imagine, all kinds of things that you as a person might be interested in improving for DAOs. How do we make proposals together instead of just voting? What if we made a proposal that everybody approved of? You didn't even need to vote on it because we all loved it. Using LLMs for signaling. This is from a tool called Polis, where you can see what are the different opinions that are held by people. And so you can make decisions based on sentiment analysis and knowing who your experts are. Like I was showing you with D work, it's one way of understanding who's doing the work, but it's different to understand who the experts are. So there's a lot of tools that could be developed for DAOs. And hopefully if you're here to create history and to create the future that you want. And so thank you very much. And this is DAO Leadership, and you can reach out to me. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much for your sharing, Miss Ragmani. Your perspective is enlightening and motivating. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, one more time, thank you all for your amazing sharing. Your meaningful journeys, thoughtful insights, and inspiring stories brought so much energy, motivation, and new perspectives into everyone listening.